Hey, Dr. Z here. Hey, greetings with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. All the praise, gratitude, appreciation, love belongs to the Almighty Creator, the Most High. Prayers and peace upon Muhammad, the Prophet, and the peace be upon you too, my dear friends. Now, you may wonder why I start these talks this way. Well, first of all, I want God to be in the conversation with us for sure. And if you've been through anything in life where you know that your life has been saved, or we realize that we really are indebted to the Creator who is giving us life, then we want to have God's presence with us, and we want to be in His presence. So today I want to share some thoughts about the power of freedom. I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. If you're joining on live, just you put something in the comments so I can let me know that you're here and that we actually are on live and working. But I've been thinking about this for the last few days, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you about the power of freedom. So what is it that you want the most in your life? Have you ever thought about it? I mean, we want a lot of things, but if you could boil it down to one or two things, what is it that you want the most? I guess people would say they want peace, but I also think that people would say they want freedom, freedom of time and money. Isn't it true? Isn't that what we want? The freedom to be, the freedom to do, the freedom to have whatever it is you want, to go wherever it is that you want, buy whatever it is you want. Well, let's remind you that you are a spirit in a body. It's not the other way around. And spirit is free. Right? Spirit is totally free with no constraints. It's like the wind. Freedom, spirit. It's like breath. It's like breathing. And the guardian, evolver, sustainer of life breathes into us from His spirit. And that's what gives us life. And that spirit is like a cool breeze. You know, it goes in every direction. And in the summertime, don't we love a cool breeze? Yes. Well, this is like the spirit of the Creator. And so we want freedom, to be as free as a bird. And the power of freedom is in right thinking, to take on greater responsibility for life within higher levels of oneness, seeing that we all are one, we're not separate, and we all are contributing to the one. I believe that freedom promotes peace, safety, and security. And that's what we want, isn't it? Thank you. But the problem is we think that we don't have enough knowledge. So we've been programmed to go read another book, go take another degree, get another certification, get a better job so we can climb up the corporate ladder. How much freedom does that give you, right? But even after all that we've done and been conditioned to do, pursuing knowledge, we still feel unfulfilled. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you do, put something in the chat. Relate. Yeah. This is the dilemma of the human being, because even though we pursue knowledge, we want to know, but there's a difference between knowing and doing. There's really a gap. I mean, we've been conditioned to believe that knowledge is power. But knowledge isn't power by itself. It only becomes power when we apply it. So the whole truth is that applied knowledge is power. So we figured out that this going to get the degree and putting ourselves in the corporate situation and all of the stress and the pressure and the competition and exploitation as part of those environments, they really don't work. And the evidence of that is that 96% of people are still broke at the age of 65. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. So this idea of lack of knowledge is the false problem, and going and reading another book is the false solution. The real problem is the thinking that you are constrained in some way, in any way. You know, you don't realize that you are free. You know, it's like what they do with to train baby elephants, right? They put a chain around their leg and tie it to a stake in the ground. And the elephant's trying to move, and it can only go so far. It's stuck. And that's the conditioning as a child. And so then, when it becomes older and bigger, all they have to do is tie a string around the leg of the elephant, put it on a post in the ground, and the elephant won't even try to move. Why? Because it's conditioned to be constrained. It doesn't understand its power. It doesn't understand its freedom to move. So how does that analogy apply to us, to you, to me, to us as human beings? We've been in environments that have constrained us. And then we believe that we're still constrained. And it really started early in life. Maybe being constrained by your mother or your father, who wanted to control things and wanted to control you and said, you have to do it my way. Or it's not done right. Do it this way, that way. And so what happens in those experiences, when we give meaning to those experiences, could be developing a belief that you can't do it right. Constrained. And so we learned you had to ask permission to be and ask permission to do. And it didn't just stop with growing up in the family of parents. It also has something to do with school, instructions. Maybe you were very creative, but teacher said you have to do it this way. I mean, there's a few people on. Just let me know. Are you tracking with what we're talking about here? Is this making any sense what we're saying here? Because I believe freedom is really what we want. If so, put a comment in the chat. I see somebody made a comment. Yes, Keith Leon. Brother Keith. Thank you. Yeah, I love my life. Love you too, brother. Glad to see you. So this idea then of this asking for permission and thinking that we're constrained and not realizing that we're free and powerful, that mindset stayed with us in relationships with coaches, with supervisors. And then if you add the experiences from slavery that are memories in the DNA of people who were captivated and enslaved, then it's easy to see why some of you still looking for permission to be free. And if you want permission to be free, well, I'm going to give it to you right now. Right? I'm giving you the permission to be freedom. Free your dome. What's that old song? Free your mind, and everything else will follow. So it's the stinking thinking that's false and unintelligent that's constraining you from reaching your full potential and power as a human being. The shackles on your brain and your heart. Break free from the chains of falsehood and ignorance and foolishness. Just because everybody else is out there being foolish doesn't mean that that's the best way for the human being to live, or that you and I want to live that way. Embrace your freedom to think intelligently. Embrace your freedom to feel intelligently. To embrace your freedom to act with intelligence. And intelligence is in nature, and it's the true reality of all of life. Don't you know that in nature you're the only creature that's been given free will? Yes. The animals operate on instinct. The plants, trees, they have a spirit consciousness in them that involves movement. But you are the crown of creation. Doesn't matter what society has told you you are. The truth is, in nature, in intelligence, you are the crown of creation because you have an intellect. So we want to invite you to put your attention on the truth about you being free and freedom. Even though we have these environments that want to constrain us and have systems set up to constrain us by fear and worry and doubt and all these diseased ego energies that really destroy our lives. People are angry. They want to fight. They want to hurt something. Well, that's not the natural way. You don't see anger out in the nature. Sure, I mean, when an animal needs to take down another animal to get their food, yeah, we understand that's temporary pain. But this idea of just being angry and frustrated, don't you know anger is the root word of the word danger? Look at the spelling. There are root words within words. English is some kind of language, right? So this idea of anger is danger. Muhammad the Prophet taught us, do not become angry. Somebody came up to him and said, could tell me something that only you can tell me. I can't get this wisdom from anywhere else. I'm paraphrasing. He said, do not become angry. He said, well, okay, well, tell me something else. He told him again, do not become angry. Okay, well, tell me something else. Messenger of God, he said, do not become angry. So this is wisdom. This is divine instruction, right? From the model human being that God wants all human beings to follow after and live by, the principles, instructions of divine guidance. So thanks for paying attention. If you like this, if you love this kind of teaching, then leave a comment, leave a like, leave a love, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want some support to expand your freedom, then leave me a comment in the chat. Just write the word expand. Expand. We can have a conversation about where you might be stuck, how to get unstuck, and inspire you to move forward with greater freedom if you're ready for that. So look, I thank you. I love you. God continue to bless you. I mean, and we've made a decision once a month to share a masterclass, Facebook Live on Tuesdays, the first Tuesdays of the month at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So we invite you to come back and join us. And we wish you the best that life has to offer. Unconditional love and peace.